Okay, we'll start with this. A second look at Francesca Hennessy's upcoming fight this weekend against Italy's own up-and-comer Persio for what is the WBC Silver Bantamweight title. This upcoming May 30th at the OVO Arena, Wembley, in the United Kingdom, will be the stage for a high-impact boxing night headlined by the matchup between Adam Azim and Steve Claggett. As the co-main event of the night, undefeated British fighter Francesca Hennessy, 8-0 with 1 KO, will put her WBC Silver Bantamweight title on the line against the Italian Aurora Di Persio, 8-1 with 3 KOs. The card will be broadcast live via BBC Two and BBC Player. There's been no word about Boxer having a U.S. broadcaster that would broadcast their fights in the United States that are happening in the United Kingdom, so this one's going to fly largely under the radar. I am very excited to be fighting on BBC again. The support has been incredible, and in every bout, my goal is to provide a great performance both for those watching the fight from home and those who will be present in the arena, commented the champion regarding her opponent, who is on a 5-fight winning streak and comes from defeating Chloe Elizabeth Smith. Hennessy pointed out, "This is another important test. I've always wanted to challenge myself against good opponents because that is what will prepare me for world title fights. I know what I want to achieve in the sport, and in each fight is one more step towards the world title. I remain focused, improving every camp, and I am eager to put on a great show May 30th. Francesca Hennessy, who's still very young and still very green, would have to fight quite a few Di Persios before she's actually ready to either challenge a champion or win a title and successfully defend it. Because there's winning the titles, and then there's defending them. Defending them is actually a lot harder. It can be. You can always pick up a vacant title after a champion moves up or gets stripped. You can become a champion that way, but it's in defending that title that you really legitimize yourself. Now, I don't think that Francesca is anywhere near ready for any of the champions at 118. She's not ready for Shernika Johnson, who holds all the alphabet titles, and she's certainly not ready for this division's lineal Ring Magazine champion, Dina Thorsland. But she may yet be ready for Italy's own Aurora Di Persio. Fran Hennessy we know. Fran Hennessy we've seen before, but what do we need to know about Aurora? What is it that Fran is going to be dealing with this weekend? And believe it or not, Aurora's not half bad. The issue with Aurora is she's an Italian-based fighter based out of Italy, and you're only going to get but so much exposure to world-level competition being based out of Italy, and whoever they can find for you to fight. The learning curve is the issue, because Aurora actually does have something. She's young, she's fast, she's athletic, there's some in-and-out game there, bouncing in and out of striking distance, throwing punches when she does it. She does have something to which you can build upon, but the learning curve is the issue. How fast can she progress being based out of Italy, fighting whoever it is they find for her to fight? Whoever they can fly out, whoever they can afford, because she's not with a major promotional outfit like Fran, so that is yet another hindrance. I figure that Aurora is going to be the aggressor, and Fran is likely going to be the defender. Fran, who fancies herself a bit of a slickster, angling off, changing levels, moving her torso, slipping, rolling, bobbing, weaving, and countering while she does it. It's likely going to be Aurora stepping forward and trying to press the issue, and Fran working around her. Fran's got some talent, some ability, but she's not the strongest of punchers, so I don't envision this fight ending in a knockout. It's likely going to be a fight where Fran often makes Aurora miss and makes her pay. Frustrates her. But she isn't going to knock her out. Fran's not a knockout merchant. She will successfully defend her WBC silver title, and afterwards I anticipate she'll fight a couple more Aurora Di Persios, because that's what she needs right now. More than a title shot, she needs developmental fights, and that's what this is. I expect her to win on Saturday. Elsewhere in the world of boxing, Eddie Hearn, who promotes both unified light heavyweight champion Dimitri Bivol, who's going to be boxing this weekend, and British former world champion Callum Smith, will now look to make Bivol's second back-to-back mandatory defense with the IBF and WBO before moving forward with a Benavidez showdown. This will lead Turki El Sheikh to making Jai Opetaia versus David Benavidez for the unified cruiserweight showdown later this year. Several angles to this story. If Dimitri Bivol beats Michael Eifert on Saturday, then moves right into a Callum Smith fight, that leaves Artur Beterbiev in the cold, and their trilogy. We know that Artur Beterbiev wants it. and he's been waiting for it, waiting for Dmitry Bivol's return, but interest in the trilogy has since cooled, since so much time has passed. And because so much time has passed, the mandatories are piling up. Michael Eifert is a mandatory, Callum Smith is a mandatory. Don't forget that Dmitry is a unified champion. There's a mandatory for every single one of those belts he holds, and Artur isn't one of them. Perhaps because it's been about a year. If Artur would have been fighting and would have been winning, maybe he could have used this time to get in position as one of Dmitry Bivol's mandatories, theoretically. But the look of it now is, they're gonna bypass him. They may end up fighting Callum Smith to keep the brown belt, leaving Artur Beterbiev in the cold even longer. And what about David Benavidez? Well, we all know David just made a successful cruiserweight debut, becoming a unified cruiserweight champion in the process, but that being said, I think you'd have to be naive to think that a guy who just became a unified cruiserweight champion is gonna cut in excess of 25 pounds to drop back down to light heavyweight. This will be David's reason not to go back down. This will be what he tells people. The story that they feed the media, when in all actuality, he was never going to come back down. It's almost like the boxing world collectively has lost all of its common sense. You think a guy who just fought at Cruiser for 2 alphabet titles and won them is then going to subject himself to a harsh weight cut to fight somebody like Dmitry Bivol? If he were to get down to light heavyweight, you understand that he would be depleted. He would be drained. He would lose. So I'm telling you, that was never the plan, and he was never going to do that. Irrespective of what he told the media, he knew the moment he moves up to Cruiser, he's not coming back down. He just wanted you to believe that he was going to. As it would make for very poor optics to leave the light heavyweight division to go fight Zerto when Dmitry beat Zerto. If you really are about fighting the best, you stay at light heavyweight and you wait Bivol's situation out. You don't move all the way up to Cruiser to fight a guy that he took to school. But that's the way it happened, and I'm telling you now, David is done as a light heavyweight. He's not coming back down, and he was never going to. Okay, then go fight Jai Opetaia.
When you look at, the big fights out there, obviously the big one is David Benavidez. What did you make of his win over Zerto?
Man, Zerto made him look a lot better.
How would you see a fight between you and Benavidez going? Would it be toe-to-toe battle?
I don't know. He's never fought no one like me. You know what I mean? He bashed the shit out of this guy that just stood right in front of him. You know what I mean? Well, let's just see what happens, bro. Let's see what happens. Let's sign the contract. Let's go.
I don't expect the David Benavidez fans to like the sound of any of that, but David never fought anybody like Jai Opetaia with the punching power and durability, simultaneously the athleticism of a Jai Opetaia, because Jai's not just going to stand in one spot waiting for you to come to him. He's going to move around. He's going to set traps. He's not going to do what Zerto did, march forward, walking into everything that David Benavidez throws at him. He's going to use the ring. He's going to move around. Has David Benavidez actually fought someone that brings as much to the table as Jai Opetaia? Caleb Plant definitely brought movement to the table. He brought that, but he didn't bring power, and we know that Caleb has a very poor engine. So Caleb brought movement to the table, but he didn't bring power. David Morrell arguably brought power to the table, though not experience. David only had about 11 fights before he fought David Benavidez. So David Morrell brought some power to the table, though next to no experience, where Zerto, he did bring experience to the table, but no ring savvy, no ring IQ. He did the exact opposite of what he should have been doing. Instead of marching forward and making yourself an easy target, get on your toes, move around, use your boxing, use your jab. Don't make yourself so easy to hit. He did the opposite of what he should have been doing. Because if you already know that this guy's got faster hands than you do, why would you want to meet him in the pocket? He's gonna outgun you there. It should have been your job to stay out of the pocket where he can't use his speed. Hard to say that David Benavidez has fought anybody quite like Jai Opetaia. Most people would tell you that David's fought the better fighters, the more recognizable fighters maybe. I wouldn't say that Caleb Plant or David Morrell or Anthony Yard are in any way better than Jai Opetaia. They've never been Ring Magazine and lineal champions. Neither was Zerto, and there's nobody on David Benavidez's resume that I think Jai Opetaia wouldn't have beat. Jai Opetaia wouldn't have knocked out. Anybody David Benavidez beat, I'd picked Jai Opetaia to beat. And worse, where Caleb Plant and Alexander Vosdik were able to go the distance with David, where David Morrell was able to do the same thing. I don't think none of those guys hit a final bell with Jai Opetaia.
None of them.
David Benavidez, he got a good win against Zurdo Ramirez, who's someone you called out heavily. I know there was a little back and forth between you and David. You're confident that potentially one day you could get that fight on?
Man, that fight's easy to make on our side. You know what I mean? I've been ready. I've just hear excuses and fucking this and that. Buzz, reach out. How bad do you want to fight? How bad do you want to be undisputed cruiserweight? That's an easy fight to make. Yeah. There's all these little excuses and stuff, but it is what it is, man. I think he's going to take a different path, and I think he's going to take a smarter path, to be honest.
Do you think he doesn't want the fight?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Why?
What do you think? Do you think he doesn't want the fight?
I don't know if my opinion is.
I'm asking.
For me,
do you think he doesn't want the fight?
For me as a fan, I'd love to see the fight.
Yeah, but do you think he doesn't want the fight?
I don't know. I think Benavidez is a fighter. He's obviously jumped up in weights.
Why wouldn't he want to become undisputed?
Yeah.
He's got both belts. I got 2 belts. I got the Ring magazine. Why wouldn't he take the fight?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he?
But I guess your opinion,
I suppose he's got some big fights to make, and there's a lot of weight division. If he can make it, I see the business side of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It makes sense to do whatever he wants to do. So the ball's in his court. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, I'm not a disrespectful dude. I don't disrespect.
That's the question, ain't it? How bad does David Benavidez want to be undisputed? Undisputed at cruiser, undisputed at light heavy. He couldn't have wanted it that bad at light heavy if he decided to leave the division to go box for 2 titles at another weight.
They say that that's just David taking charge of his career, that he doesn't want to wait around for anybody. In all actuality, you couldn't have wanted undisputed that bad at that weight if you only lasted 3 fights there before deciding to move up.
Now the story is Turki El Sheikh wants to make Jai Opetaia versus David Benavidez for the undisputed cruiserweight title later this year, according to Tasman fighters, who have long handled the career of Jai Opetaia. When it comes to Jai, he's rumored to be boxing Noel Mikhailian for his green and gold title in August. If he beats him, then David needs him to become undisputed.
So, how bad does David Benavidez want to become undisputed? Does David even want this fight? Jai doesn't think so. Jai thinks David is going to try to go another route.
Whenever Jai Opetaia has been mentioned, before the Zurdo fight or after the Zurdo fight, David and his team have always found a reason to put it off, put distance between themselves and that fight. Before he beats Zurdo, they say nobody knows Jai, and he doesn't sell. After he beats Zurdo,
well, he doesn't have a belt. He's over there at Zuffa.
Except he does have a belt, the most coveted belt in all of boxing, the Ring magazine title, and he still is lineal champion because you didn't beat him for it. You can't get undisputed without those 2 things. You need the Ring magazine title and you need lineal status if there is a lineal champion, and there is. Jai Opetaia, you can be the alphabet champion, you can hold all the alphabet titles,
but you can't be undisputed without the Ring magazine title and lineal status. You've got to win it from him.
And so the question is, how bad does David Benavidez really want to become an undisputed champion? Now, the David Benavidez fans, they're going to bring up Dimitri Bivol as a deflection, as an excuse not to fight Jai. But it's already established that Dimitri might be busy, and I don't know why you guys think Fat David is going to get back down to light heavy anyway. That was never going to happen.
What do you guys want to do, huh? Sit here crying over spilt milk, talking about a fight that might not happen when there's one on the table that can, one on the table that Turki El Sheikh is willing to pay for?
To where all that stuff about Jai not being a big draw and nobody knows him, all that goes out the window because nobody needs to know him but Turki. So long as Turki knows him, Turki's paying. And who's paying better money in boxing right now than Turki El Sheikh? All the narratives levied against the Benavidez versus Opetaia fight fall by the wayside due to Turki El Sheikh's involvement. So miss me with the excuse that Jai's over there at Zuffa.
So fucking what? Conor Benn is over there at Zuffa, and Ryan is still fighting him, so why can't David fight Jai?
There's no reason not to. In spite of this, Jai Opetaia is of the opinion that David Benavidez doesn't actually want the fight, and he will forego it to go in another direction.
Where? Because he ain't going back down.
I told you. I've already told you a million times. I wouldn't be surprised if David Benavidez doesn't box again this year, because going back down to light heavyweight was never a real option. He was never going to really do that. So he's not doing that, but he's not fighting Jai. The cruiserweight division itself doesn't offer up much in terms of alternatives, in terms of big money options.
Least of all for a guy who insists on boxing on pay-per-view exclusively. You can't fight just anybody on pay-per-view. It's gotta be somebody good.
So, not being able to get back down to light heavyweight, and in the absence of alternatives in the cruiserweight division to a Jai Opetaia fight, David Benavidez might elect to sit the rest of the year out, because that wouldn't be the first time that's happened. He's periodically taken these stints to where he only fights once a year.
He's literally done this every other year since 2020.
Now you're asking yourself, well, who is it that Jai Opetaia's fought that you're so confident he beats David Benavidez?
You're asking yourself.
While I'm asking myself, why the fuck would that be important to you? Do you want to see the fight or not? The Canelo fight is dead in the water. It's not gonna happen. The Dimitri Bivol fight, that's got roadblocks.
David can't get back down there.
Where this fight is on the table, this fight is available. Jai Opetaia is not otherwise preoccupied. You just fought Zerto. He's about to fight Noel Mikhailian. If he wins that fight, you can meet him at the end of the year. So what's the problem? That should be the focus.
Whether you think David wins or Jai Opetaia wins, who fucking cares about any of that? Do you want to see the fight or not?
Because he's got to fight somebody, unless you'd prefer he sit out the rest of the year to avoid this guy.